Brandon Pfaadt made his first start for the Dbacks yesterday and looked pretty good. What if this team gets 30 starts from big game Brandon? We're talking about it right now. Welcome into another edition of the PHNX Diehard podcast, live from Studio K, presented by our friends at Circle K. It is I, your mayor of PHNX, and occasionally Amarillo, Texas, Derek Montilla, also mayor of everywhere. And again, don't go throwing that mayor nickname around all willy-nilly like it's just something that you can call someone. I need to remind you of that. I am joined, of course, by my guy, Damon Dawg, on the ones and twos, a.k.a. Damon Farrell. Damon, bark to you on this fine Thursday morning.
Salute, Derek.
How's your basketball team doing?
My basketball team is maybe the best that it's ever been in my entire life.
Yeah, you have a lot of exciting times ahead, as do we, as people that not only get to watch this Arizona Diamondbacks team in 2026, but also the World Baseball Classic, which we are going to be talking about here shortly. We are going to do our best attempt to put together our winning bracket for that tournament. But
Derek, I'm excited for the World Baseball Classic.
Oh, I
really
too.
am. I was telling my roommate yesterday, I was like, I actually just can't wait for some high stakes baseball like this early in the season. It puts you in the baseball mood right away. I remember like how 2023 felt, where we had those big games and then all of a sudden we're straight into the season and the Dbacks are hot off the jump. And it was just a fever dream of like 10 months of just awesome baseball. I need it back in my life.
You're right. I needed it so bad that now that World Baseball Classic play has started, Damon, which as you know, I've been getting some good REM sleep thanks to my new mattress, found myself up at 2:45 a.m. randomly, as one does when they are 44 years old and have lower back problems. And what I saw on social media, because you know I can't stay away from Twitter when I'm awake at 2:45 a.m., is that in 15 minutes, South Korea versus Czechia was about to start. And I was supposed to not watch that. I wasn't supposed to stay up for a game that starts at 3 a.m. I love this. This reminds me of KBO baseball all over again. And in fact, maybe, just maybe, that's part of the problem here, Damon, overall, is that we have, of course, World Baseball Classic starting and kind of running over spring training, which is fine because nobody cares about spring training games, and that's fine too. We're okay with all of that. We're not going to shy away from the truth on this program. We know that you guys don't care. We know you stopped caring. Like, you still want to know that Tommy Troy went 3 for 4 in yesterday's win over the Athletics, but you don't care that they won over the Athletics. You don't care that the score was 3-1. Admit it. That's fine. But Tommy Troy did go 3 for 4 in yesterday's win. Also, Jacob Amaya, he's been quietly doing some impressive things. He was 2 for 3 with a home run, and he scored all of the Dbacks RBI. He had all 3 RBI for the Dbacks. Luken Baker, another big fella that we are learning to love.
Big
Luken
fella
Baker
is right.
Oh, man, he is.
If he's nothing, he's a big fella.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
He might be the big show. We might have to start calling him the big show, Luken Baker. But he's 1 for 2 with a double that he smoked, 105.7 mile per hour exit velo on his double in that game. Again, 2 runs scored and a walk for Baker, so that looks great. Another thing on the very, very bright side of things, Brandon Garcia returned to the Diamondbacks bullpen yesterday. If you don't remember, he left the game, his last outing, after hitting a batter and looking like he couldn't find the strike zone. He left with a trainer, which was very concerning and made all of us collectively hold our breath. But luckily, as the Diamondbacks revealed, it was just due to illness. And Brandon Garcia went out there and looked great in his 1 inning of work. He struck out 2, didn't allow a hit, didn't walk anyone, and again, looks outstanding. But Tommy Troy looks great, man. After going 3 for 4 yesterday, he is currently hitting .524 with a 1.238 OPS, and he has hit safely in 7 of his 9 spring training games. we talk about a lot of guys on this team. And again, I think when it comes down to it, it's going to be disappointing when we see certain names sent back down to their, minor league teams. We're already seeing that today. Gilbert Diaz was sent back down to, or reassigned to the AAA Reno Aces, or optioned, to the Reno Aces. Dylan Ray also optioned to the Reno Aces. Those were guys, I believe, that were on their 40-man roster that are no longer on their 40-man roster. But Tommy Troy, again, just looks really good. That 1.238 OPS, outstanding. He has 4 doubles, 2 RBI in spring play. The Diamondbacks have won 5 straight games in 6 of their last 7, because I guess that exhibition game doesn't count against Team Mexico. So
Derek, you did the thing.
I did the thing.
You did the thing.
6-7. The Diamondbacks currently have a .302 batting average, which is second in Major League Baseball, behind only the San Francisco Giants, who have a .318 team batting average. Their OPS of 876 is third behind the Rockies and the Giants. So Diamondbacks doing some good things offensively here already in spring. But Brandon Pfaadt, he made his first start. He went 2 1/3 scoreless innings. He allowed 1 hit in his spring debut. And again, just outstanding to see Brandon Pfaadt back out on the mound pitching. There was some concerns about, a side injury that had kind of come up. Fingers crossed that we didn't lose Brandon Pfaadt, because again, now we would start to get down to panic territory. But luckily he just, they had to slow play him a little bit. But, Brandon looked great yesterday. He said he think he was I think just being aggressive was what led to his outing yesterday. That was his goal. He said they were pretty fastball heavy, but they came out swinging. We wanted to work on the curveball in the 3rd inning, didn't land the 3-2 pitch, which I wish I could have had that one back, but it felt good. Stuff was moving great. We were being aggressive. He threw his sinker and his changeup primarily in yesterday's game. He got 3 whiffs in it. And Dbacks pitchers overall, the entire pitching staff yesterday did not allow an extra base hit to the Athletics. So good performance overall, but you can't help but wonder, Brandon Pfaadt, right? Brandon Pfaadt is to that point now where you almost feel like you need to see that breakout season from him this year, something that he truly, really hasn't had. It's similar, I guess, to what we talked about with Jordan Lawler, but Jordan Lawler is far younger into his career. Brandon Pfaadt, we have seen how great he can be. We've seen Brandon Pfaadt be, one of the best pitchers on the staff at times. However, just does not have that consistency that this team is looking for from, a starter and from him, quite frankly. I mean, again, there was a lot of expectations for Pfaadt. And so far, you probably won't find somebody that's harder on him than himself. So it's kind of thing that something there that he needs to shed as well for the 2026 season. But across all the projection systems, they like Brandon Pfaadt for 2026. They really do see him as a candidate to have a rebound season. We're talking about Steamer, Zips, Fantasy Pros, all of that stuff. It looks like Brandon Pfaadt, obviously, if he stays healthy, projected to go about 30 starts and 170 innings pitched. Mediocre record, around 500. ERA improved, but still probably not outstanding. They have his ERA somewhere in the range of 4.12 to 4.50. Steamer has him at 4.31 with a 1.27 whip. Zips has him at 4.12 with a 1.19 whip. But overall, all better than his 5.25 ERA from 2026. And even that was kind of a bad luck. His underlying metrics, once again, suggested that Brandon Pfaadt was better than that 5.25 ERA. But Brandon, overall, if he can be a guy that comes back and can contribute in a way that it makes him look like a solid number 3 starter for this team, number 4 starter, the Diamondbacks can really go places. Again, talk to you briefly there about their spring training, offensive numbers, which don't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but still are looking very good, still at the top of the league. You don't feel like offense is going to be the problem for this team in 2026, and it doesn't appear that that is going to be the case based on the way guys are playing so far. It still feels like everything is going to hang on their pitching. And that's nothing new. That's probably something you could say about every baseball team. If you have great pitching, you're going to get, you're going to win a lot of baseball games. But, what the Diamondbacks realistically need is Brandon Pfaadt and Eduardo Rodriguez to pitch how we know they can, not how these numbers at the end of the season essentially end up, right? And again, I know I'm probably beating this to death, but Erod had himself an amazing stretch last year against some of the best teams in baseball. That stretch right there is what I'm talking about. It's those stretches and past seasons that lead you to believe that he can be much better than what we've seen. I mean, everybody thinks that, but at least makes you feel like that's still there. From Erod, he said he has felt great. Brandon Pfaadt, again, says he feels much better than he did and kind of over that side issue that he had. But, again, those two guys, there's so many questions about what those two guys are going to be in 2026. There's also questions about how Soroka is going to factor in here to the starting rotation. Also questions about when Merrill Kelly will make his debut. He is scheduled to throw a bullpen today per Tori Lavello. Tori said that it'll probably be somewhere in the 15 pitch range. And he said this is encouraging news. He had a chance to speak to him directly, and that he said he feels good enough to get back up on the mound and begin that progression. So Merrill Kelly resuming baseball activities, not just throwing, but actually getting in and tossing a bullpen. He's still trending towards being ready to pitch at the back end of the rotation, most likely against the Detroit Tigers on March 31st or April 1st. That is not official from the team. That is me just doing math and using dates and a calendar to figure that portion out. But again, the Diamondbacks very much need Merrill Kelly to come back here. And again, he is going to be a welcome sight at the back end of that rotation. But forget that. Forget spring training. Nobody cares about that. World Baseball Classic is here, and now we are ready for actual World Baseball Classic games to start. And we already had a pretty shocking upset in the world of World Baseball Classic. Australia defeated Chinese Taipei by a score of 3-0. The three hit shutout put together by Alex Wells, Jack O'Loughlin, and John Kennedy. And top prospect Travis Bazana added a home run to give Australia insurance later on. His name is all over the place. If you go to the World Baseball Classic, you probably if you took a shot every time they tweeted about Travis Bazana, you would be drunk before you scroll 2 or 3 times. But this is first game of the entire tournament. Again, kind of a shocking win there for Australia, who grabs an early advantage there in Pool C, which also includes Japan, South Korea, and Czechia. Is that right? Am I saying that right? It's Czechia. That's the name. Because I
think so.
They were in the second game against South Korea. They lost by a score of 11-4. Korea's offense exploded for 11 runs, powered by multiple home runs. I'm going to say a lot of names wrong here. Let's just get that out of the way here. Bo Gyung-moon hit a grand slam that helped blow the game open early. And then Astros minor leaguer Shea Whitcomb also had a huge game with 2 home runs himself. So Korea immediately looks like a serious contender in honestly a pretty stacked Pool C there as far as being in the same pool as Japan. So now we got Australia and South Korea at 1-0, and Chinese Taipei, or Taiwan as Damon demands that I call them, 0-1, and Czechia 0-1. By the way, is Czechia, is that the one where like a nuclear operator is one of their pitchers?
I think so. Yeah, that was what Connor, our sales guy, Connor.
Sorry, Czechia. Thank you, Martin.
Yes, they were. So yeah, they have like a bunch of dudes with day jobs. Like there's like dental hygienists and
but none more important than a nuclear monitor. I feel like he.
Oh, and there's a dude named Ryan Johnson as well on the Chechenian team.
His name I won't have any problems pronouncing for sure, but
Czechia team.
It's Czechia.
Yeah, sorry,
but again,
Chechnya is a Russian. That's Russia.
Yeah, that's different. All right. I'm bad. I'm bad at all of this. I'm gonna tell you.
You got that in my head. I wasn't doing that, and then you started doing it, and now I'm doing it. Yeah, it's bad.
Only the top 2 teams advance to the quarterfinals, so early wins are huge here, obviously, and there's not a lot of games. So
and Australia won, right?
Yeah, that's what
you were saying.
Yeah.
So I wanted to shout out my guy who I've been DMing with, Derek, fan of the program here, Dbacks fan. And just overall GOAT, Brad Billett, who has been he's a fan of PHNX Diehard. He is an Aussie man, and he is been messaging me about different World Baseball Classic updates because, Derek, I would like to announce that my second team is also not the United States. It's Australia.
Oh,
I am Team Dominican Republic and Team
out.
Australia. Those are my two teams. No, I'm sorry. It's just
You're
who
a
I am.
rotten individual.
Oh, yeah? I got Big Jake Franklin texting me yesterday. How about Make-A-Wish Kershaw hitting 87 on the gun and giving up a no-doubt bomb?
If Clayton Kershaw wasn't on that team, could we get you to root for them?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course. I've made that very clear. The sole reason I'm rooting against USA is because of Clayton Kershaw. Last World Baseball Classic, Ohtani wasn't even on the Dodgers, and I was rooting for the Team USA over Japan. Like, no question about it. But when you start making my team, my country, a charity case for your loser
retired
players, then I'm out. I'm out on that. So Team Dominican, Team Australia. That's what we're all about. And the Aussies, we got ourselves a dub. Game 1.
Jason's trying to put the two together in the chat. He says Team Australia Republic, or is it Team Dominicalia?
We'll workshop that.
Australia.
We might need a little bit more time.
Dominicalia? I don't know. Well, we got some big matchups coming up today, including Japan versus Chinese Taipei, Mexico versus
Taiwan.
Christian Robinson and the Great Britain team. We got the Dominican Republic. It's going to wipe the floor with Nicaragua. And USA versus Brazil. This is Team USA's first real WBC game as well. So big matchups, fun stuff, World Baseball Classic. It's going to deliver, man. It's going to be exciting. And we're so pumped. We're going to do our best to figure out which teams are going to advance from each of these pools. And then we're going to try to determine the winner of the whole damn thing. Damon, let's do that on the other side of this break, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. We're going to do that. Don't you guys go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondbacks show. Most of us are lucky enough to never have been involved in a serious accident, so we don't know what to do. But of course, you got to know if you are involved in a serious accident or have a serious injury, you have to do your research, and the lawyer you hire does matter. Let's face it, you want to hire an attorney that's focused on your best outcome, not how much money the firm makes. That's the husband and wife law team. This team brings together hundreds of years of combined trial experience, and they have multiple certified specialists in personal injury and wrongful death. They are certified specialists by the State Bar of Arizona, and in Arizona, that is a very limited amount of attorneys. Only 1% of all lawyers are certified as specialists in injury and wrongful death litigation. And they actually go to trial for their customers. If a case needs to go to trial, they are ready. They know their way around a courtroom and what needs to be done to prevail in front of a jury for their clients. Of course, nobody can guarantee you the outcome of a legal case. However, there are promises that the husband and wife law team make to you and all of their clients when it comes to their relationships. You will receive as much in your pocket as they receive for their fee, even if they have to reduce their attorney's fees to do so. You may speak with one of their lawyers at any time about anything at all that you want to discuss, and you have the right to trust that as your lawyer, they will tell you both the strengths and weaknesses of your claim so that you can make informed decisions. If you've had a serious injury, call the husband and wife law team first at 602-783-8841 or visit their website at the link in our show notes and tell them that PHNX sent you. And everyone needs a checking account, so make sure you get yourself a checking account that gives back to you. That is exactly what Mountain America Credit Union is providing with their MyStyle checking account, which has perks just for your lifestyle. You can enjoy restaurant deals, mobile phone protection, telehealth access, and identity protection, all through your MyStyle checking account. You can also get loan rate discounts, offers on travel and events, and so much more. New offers are being added all the time, and they can save you money and provide you with some fun things to do. And again, get a checking account that gives back to you and doesn't just take your money to pay for things. That's the MyStyle checking account. Make MyStyle for your lifestyle at Mountain America Credit Union. Visit macu.com/MyStyle to apply. Insured by NCUA, membership is required based on eligibility. Some benefits require no cost registration activation. Terms, conditions, and exclusions do apply. Well, Damon gave his shout out to somebody here that he was communicating with that's turned him into an Australian fan now. I want to give my shout out.
Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi. Oh, I do that automatically. I didn't even mean to jump in on that. But hey.
Let's be honest. We can root for Australia together. Wasn't there I'm forgetting his name right now, and I'm really sorry for that. But
yes.
We met another Australian fan of the program, when he brought his beautiful family out to the
Oh,
ballpark.
absolutely.
What was it, 2 seasons ago?
He was awesome.
We do have some Australian listeners here that like the Diamondbacks for some reason, and so we love our Australian fans.
One time at the Royal Rumble that was taking place at Chase Field, there was this very tall Australian man that proceeded to help lift me up so I could see wrestlers come in the entrance. He was a darling human being.
Oh, this was like when you were met. Like you were younger at this point.
Yeah,
you were a
like,
younger individual.
Totally, I was like 39, and and this giant of a man was the kindest human being. And then I kid you not, before the end of the show, I saw this great man being taken out by police for some reason that I still don't know. But again, not every story has a happy ending. Do want to give a shout out, though, to our diehards. You guys are amazing. And as always, we thank you guys so much for supporting us. And I mean that when I say this whole thing here at PHNX would not be happening without the support of our diehards, without the support of our supporters club members. So again, thank you guys so much. And we wanted to spotlight one of our diehards, one of our wonderful Diamondbacks diehards, our guy here, Dean Browell. What a great name. Browell. And it might be Browl. I might be butchering it by saying it Browell.
I bet it is Browell.
It probably is Browl, but I think Browell is also just so cool. So Dean, thank you so much for being a diehard.
He bros well.
Dean is from Richmond, Virginia, and his favorite team is the Arizona Diamondbacks. Favorite athlete, Gabriel Moreno, and he has been a diehard for 3 years. So again, Dean, we thank you so much. Dean said, thanks for being great. Thank you for being great, Dean. We appreciate it. He said he became a diehard because he was looking for a community and fan source, even though he doesn't live in the area. And we are so happy to provide that. I will say that, again, I know that speaking as a Diamondbacks fan right here in Phoenix, at times it was hard to find a group of fans. So we are happy to be helping this community grow, and we are thrilled that you are a part of it. So thank you so much, Dean, for that. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate all of you so much. You guys, again, are the reason why we do this and the reason we're able to do this. So again, thank you. Thank you all. But Damon, I feel like it's time for us to really start committing to these teams. You've already done that. There's no doubt about that. I don't think anybody would argue with that, but I think it's time for us to maybe start figuring out who exactly is in the quarterfinals and who is going to advance to win the whole damn thing. So let's take a look at the World Baseball Classic bracket. Right now, a little convoluted, maybe not as easy to figure these things out, right? Because 2 teams from each pool advance. And as you can see here on your screen, we have the 4 pools. We have Pool A that features Puerto Rico, Cuba, Canada, Panama, and Colombia. We have Pool B, which features the United States, Mexico, Italy, Great Britain, and Brazil. We have Pool C that features Japan, Australia, Korea, Czechia, and Chinese Taipei. And then last, we have Pool D featuring Venezuela, the Dominican Republic, Netherlands, Israel, and Nicaragua. All right, so
it's electric, the spots that they picked for these games. I won't lie about that.
You mean the locations themselves? Yes. Yeah, Pool B being in Houston, Texas. Pool A being in San Juan, Puerto Rico. That is going to be amazing.
Electric.
Tokyo, Japan for Pool C seems unfair. And Miami, Florida there for Pool
what's
D.
Weird about Pool C, I mean, and I guess maybe it's not weird, it's on purpose, but all the Asian countries plus Australia are in there. So that almost feels a little bit unfair to those countries to like not randomize it and to just be like group them all together and be like, whoever comes out of the Asian side of the bracket.
Yeah.
But it's like you're almost eliminating teams that maybe have a better chance of getting there. Like, what if South Korea was in, the Pool B? What's stopping them from beating Mexico and getting past?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
But now they're in a really difficult. They're probably going to get out of Pool C anyways. But like maybe Australia is one of those teams. But it just feels a little bit like maybe it should be more randomized than that. But I'm sure they're trying to reduce like the travel costs and everything.
Well, and I think overall here, you're right. There is definitely a little bit of unfairness to it when it comes to the locations and everything like that. But, I mean, you could say the same thing about divisions and such in baseball, right? Like, some like the Diamondbacks would be in such a better place if we played in any division besides the NL West.
For sure.
So it's like some of these pools kind of do make it a little difficult for some teams to make it out. I think that Pool A is fairly up for grabs. Probably the most competitive division that I don't know if you have a clear-cut two teams that stand out. I mean, let's kind of do this, and I think we should do the easiest, obvious ones here, and no disrespect to the other three teams, but I don't see anybody beating Venezuela or the Dominican Republic in Pool D. Is that fair to say?
Yes, I think it is, unless
the plumbers
Drew
on the
Drones.
Netherlands team can get
I was
it
about
together.
to say Drew Jones has something to say about it.
We need
You're calling Drew Jones a plumber?
No.
Let's get this on the record.
I said pitching staff.
True. Their pitching is not very good. They do have a decent little lineup, though.
Yeah,
the Netherlands team.
They do. And I mean, honestly, you could probably say that about a few teams that are a bit surprising. I think Great Britain is better than they've ever been. But
true.
Again, do you see those teams kind of doing enough to outplay the other teams in their pool, including Venezuela and the Dominican Republic? Like the Australian win, that's a big kind of shocker there, but it's not over Japan or Korea, so it's not enough to make me believe, at least at this point, that Australia is going to make it out of that pool into the quarterfinals. I see that still being Japan and Korea.
Man, these Netherlands pitchers are bums, Derek.
I know. I'm telling you, a bunch of metal workers.
Are so bad.
One guy's a lawyer.
All they have is Kenley Jansen.
Yeah.
That's the one guy that I recognize here on this list. And it's like, okay, well, if they have a lead, maybe. But even then, they do have Ozzy Albies, Xander Bogaerts, Didi Gregorius. Is Profar allowed to play? Or is Profar's brother?
That's Profar's brother.
Interesting.
That's not Jurickson. That's whatever his brother's name.
They have Jonathan Scoop's brother as well, Charlon Scoop. And then they have Drew Jones. I mean, it's kind of a fun team, but
Jeremy Profar.
That's his name. I agree with you. I do agree with you. I don't think that anyone is beating Venezuela or the Dominican Republic out of Pool D. And then, so if we're mapping this out, Pool D would then go to Game 3 of the quarterfinals, the winner. So do you want to just say that the Dominican Republic is going to win?
Yeah, the Dominican Republic team is just a monster. I can't imagine that team not taking that pool and being the winner of it. And then Venezuela is still very good. And I think, again, Venezuela has a lot of country pride to play for right now as well. Plus, again, a very good roster. Japan and Korea just seem very likely out of Pool C. Do you want to actually commit yourself to believing enough to say that Australia is going to keep Korea out of the quarterfinals? Damon? Are you willing to commit to that?
I am currently, my brain power is being used
I get it.
He's right now.
He's updating the bracket, and I'm here asking him questions.
Yeah, I'm not entirely listening, but so do we want to put Venezuela as the runner-up in Group D then?
Correct. Yeah, Venezuela will be the runner-up in Group D. So again, when it comes to the quarterfinals, it's a bit complicated, but yes, Damon's putting together the bracket correctly.
I have the format in my head.
Okay,
and I have it next to me. So I'm kind of just basing it off of that.
That works for me. So again, what we have here in Pool C, again, Japan, Australia, and Korea are probably going to be in a fight here for those two positions. But again, can't imagine that Samurai Japan does not come out of Pool C. So really, it's up to the Australian team pulling off a fairly big upset and making it in over Korea.
That's what we have so far, Derek. That's what I've been working on.
That's what taking up 75 to 80% of his brain power, which is fair.
So
I was asking you was, are you ready to commit enough to Australia to have them making it into the quarterfinals over Korea?
After Korea got that big W against Taiwan, I will call them.
Sure.
I think
it's Czechia actually.
Oh, I thought
Australia beat Chinese
Australia
Taiwan.
Beat Taiwan. I gotcha. Yeah, man. I mean, that's a big win for Australia. That feels like that's momentous.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Korea has the pitching advantage. Yeah. They have to, right?
They do. They absolutely have the pitching advantage. But Australia, once again, also has lawyers.
Australian pride.
And guys that do air conditioning work on the team that are,
Do they actually? Do they have Liam Hendricks? No, he didn't suit up.
No, he did not.
What a joke.
I mean, again,
Travis Bazzana?
Yeah, Travis Bazzana's killed it. He hit a home run in that one. And again, like I said, if you go to the World Baseball Classic account and take a shot every time you see a tweet featuring his name, you're gonna be wasted.
So what do we want to do here? Do we want to go Australia or Korea?
Let's go Australia.
All right.
This is who you're backing. This is who you are behind. So we'll throw Australia in there.
As the runner-up?
Yeah, as the runner-up, and we'll have Japan winning that division.
Okay, so it looks like my teams will then be playing each other, unfortunately.
Yes. Good. Let's get this over with.
Wow.
The winner of that quarterfinal game will then be the team that Damon can go buy a jersey of. Whether it's a Perdomo or a Bazzana jersey. So there's that. Meanwhile, Pool B, United States, Mexico, Italy, Great Britain, and Brazil. Brazil, not a chance. Italy, get out of here. Great Britain, you showed up at least. We appreciate that. But nobody's beating Rowdy Tellez and Team Mexico, and nobody's definitely beating the United States when it comes to making it into the quarterfinals. So I feel like that one's fairly obvious. Maybe I'm being unkind to some of those other teams, but I can't imagine it. Team Mexico looked really good out there against the Diamondbacks when we had a chance to see them in that exhibition game. And then you also have the United States putting up, going 15-1 over the Giants and making them look like some fairly pathetic pedestrians there. So anyway, what are you thinking here? So
this is in the group Pool B. We're now talking.
We're now talking about Group B. United States,
Mexico. Winner probably right, and then Mexico. I would say, right? Yeah, it's got to be right.
Yeah, that's it. That's it as far as I'm concerned. And again, I know a lot of these are easy. We went with Australia there as a little bit of an underdog, but Korea obviously making it in seems like that's just as likely, but not probably enough there for them to. I think you mix those up. I think Australia would be playing Dominican, right? And Japan would be playing Venezuela.
Isn't that what I have?
They're across from each other.
They're across from their opponent.
Got it. Yeah. I see that now. Got it. All right.
And then the teams on the right are the home teams, and the teams on the left are the away teams as well.
Understood.
So then we'll do Mexico.
Yeah, we'll do Mexico. But Pool A, by far, the hardest pool to determine, I feel like. And
yeah, I mean, it's just it's the most wide open for sure. It feels like, right?
Yes, it definitely feels like the most wide open. It feels like the one where any of these teams, honestly, could be really good, and any of them could kind of find, their rhythm together. It's hard, right? Like, it's a very short amount of time of you essentially becoming a team together before these games actually start playing. A few days at the most, but. It's hard not to think, even though they have a lot of problems overall with the insurance situation that we unfortunately are going to talk about later on the show. Team Puerto Rico still feels like a pretty decent bet there overall. Team Puerto Rico feels like they have enough star power on that team for them to come together and, win. Get themselves into the quarterfinals, right?
I agree with you. Some interesting people on this Cuban team, Derek.
Cuba.
They have Yohan Lopez.
Yep, and then Yohan Moncado and Yariel Rodriguez.
Yeah, they have Alexi Ramirez, brother.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, did you hear me say what I just said now?
Alexi Ramirez.
He stopped playing Major League Baseball. And Derek, can you guess the year that he stopped playing Major League Baseball? Go ahead and guess, Derek.
2018?
2016! 2016! This guy hasn't played in the pinnacle of the sport since 2016.
Oh,
and he's in the World Baseball Classic. This is why the World Baseball Classic is awesome.
Yeah.
Is because you get these players, guys that play for the Great Britain team where you're like, wait, what is he doing out there? I thought Adrian Beltre retired 25 years ago, and they're like, well, he has some obscure connection to, the UK, and so he can play for them, and he's 45, but he's still the best third baseman they got. And you're like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Is Alexi Ramirez going to just be a third base coach for them? Like, what's going on?
He's going to be both. He's going to be a third base man and a third base coach for that team.
Cesar, I was not in elementary school, but get this. I was in high school. That was my senior year of high school, was when Alexi Ramirez played ball.
All right, now you're making me feel old.
It's been 10 years.
I know. Puerto Rico, they got Nolan Arenado. They got Edwin Diaz. They got Seth Lugo, right? You also have Canada with Josh Naylor, Tyler O'Neill, and Jamison Tyone. And then Colombia.
And Michael Soroka.
You're right. Excuse me for leaving him off there. And then you got Colombia with Jose Quintana, Michael Arroyo, and one Nabil Crismat.
Colombia.
That's Colombia. There's
awesome.
Your X Factor. There's your winner right there. That's your division winner, Colombia. No, I'm joking. I do think Puerto Rico is going to make it out of that. And I would put Puerto Rico probably as the winner. Of that pool.
Okay.
But what do you think here as far as Cuba, Canada, and Colombia is concerned? No offense, Panama.
Let me take a peek at this Colombian roster real quick, just to kind of get a better idea of what we're working with here. John Romero, Jose Quintana, Julio Teheran, when was the last time Julio Teheran pitched in an MLB game? Now we're looking that up because this is insane. Julio Teheran hasn't pitched in a Major League Baseball game since 2019, Derek. He's on the Colombian team. This Colombian team is really not bad.
I know.
They're pretty they got a lot of peripheral dudes, but that's the type of team that can, I think, kind of play above its head. Like when you get a Gio Urshela and he's just a monster in the World Baseball Classic and you're like, what? Wait, that's not a thing that happens in regular baseball.
It's true.
But when these guys play for their countries, they get a lot better. I'm leaning Canada, but I do think this Colombian team is sneaky. I think they're real sneaky.
Canada did get beat by the Toronto Blue Jays in exhibition play. Just wanted to throw that out there. I don't know how that impacts your feelings on that.
It doesn't really impact my feelings too much. I don't really care about spring training.
But yeah, no, we already let's do this because I'm a wrestling guy, and sometimes you have to book this for the best fan situation. We want big matchups, right? Mm-hmm. We want hatred, we want vitriol, and there's no bigger rivalry right now than Canada versus USA, right? After what happened in the Winter Olympics with hockey. So I'm throwing Canada in there, and they are going to face off there against Team USA in the quarterfinals.
I love it.
Right? That's going to put some butts in seats. That's going to sell some tickets. That's going to get TV watchers.
You would assume so, Derek.
You would think so. You would think so, but sometimes you don't know. These audiences can be fickle, Damon. That's why every once in a while you gotta throw a big show out there, aka Luke and Baker. It's the second time I've mentioned
the big show,
the big show on this show.
Luke and Baker is what the people tune in for, Derek.
That's what the people. Him and Jelly Bean content is what people are here for. But I think we've done a pretty good job here of setting up the quarterfinals overall. We got Puerto Rico in there. On the winners bracket side, along with Team USA, the Dominican Republic, and Japan. On the second place side, I guess you could say over here, we got ourselves Canada, Mexico, Australia, and Venezuela. So love that. Think that looks good for essentially an Elite Eight here in our tournament bracket. So Damon, why don't we do this? Why don't we take a quick break? And on the other side of this break, we will do some more bracketology here and figure out who exactly is going to win the whole damn thing. Let's do that here. And we'll be back here in a few minutes. Of course, you guys, you know what you're watching. You're watching me. You're watching Damon. You're watching the PHNX Diamondback show. Someone asked me the other day how many hats I actually own. And I have entirely too many to count. But one thing I've noticed is I have way too many Branded Bills hats to count. And that's because Branded Bills makes the finest hats you can find. Of course, they have a wonderful collection that features hats that are, of course, in the spirit of our great state of Arizona. They also have hats featuring ASU and U of A as part of their campus collection, as well as some hats featuring the Phoenix Suns. All of this can be found at their website at brandedbills.com. Of course, if you are a company looking to make your brand stand apart from the crowd, look no further than Branded Bills. They can get you started on your custom headwear order immediately, and their dedicated team will help you create the exact custom apparel you need. Whether you need snapbacks, fitted hats, truckers, beanies, it doesn't matter. They have you covered with hats and performance. They also make some incredible logos over there at Branded Bills. They're a local company from right here in Mesa, Arizona. So shop local. Head to brandedbills.com and use our code of BBPHNX for 15% off your first order. And speaking of local companies, Pure Edibles was founded right here in Arizona and is available at over 130 dispensaries in the state. They were actually created in Flagstaff at Noble Herb Dispensary, the home of Pure Edibles, and now can be found everywhere. And they make a fine candy. Of course, they don't just make gummies. Of course, they do have gummies. They also have hard candies, chews, soft candies, their version of Starburst that they call Kicks, and of course, new candies coming out all the time. They also have a wide variety of flavors and effects that you can find clearly listed on each tin. And those flavors are delicious, and those effects get you exactly where you're needing to go, whether you're looking for help with sleep, pain relief, or just improving your mood. Pure Edibles has an edible for you. They also have a collaboration right now with Mother Road Brewing Company, where they bring you the finest IPA in all the land, Tower Station IPA, and now in an all-in-one THC device. You can get those same citrusy notes and piney hops that you get from that wonderful IPA, but now in a THC device. So make sure to grab yourself some Pure Edible products. Again, available at over 130 dispensaries across Arizona. Well, Damon, let's get that bracket back up there and let's figure out the rest of the semifinals and who is going to win the whole thing. First, it gets a little convoluted, I guess you could say, from here, because the seeding in the next round would depend on where essentially what their records are, right? But we do know that according to this information, the teams that advance, or Team Japan and Team USA, cannot play each other in the semifinals.
Well, I think that basically they can, I think, but it was kind of set up so that they don't, I think is more the differentiator. They tried to set it up where there's not really a chance that it happens. I also think that they've kind of talked about this poorly, because there's 2 games of these quarterfinals that take place on the 13th and 2 that take place on the 14th. So you would, I think it makes all the sense in the world that the teams that play on the 13th play each other, and the teams that play on the 14th play each other in the semifinal matchup.
Okay.
Because those games are also a day apart, so they want to have equal rest, I believe. So I think that the Pool B winner versus the Pool A runner-up, so that would be USA, Canada, will take on the Pool D winner versus the Pool C runner-up. So we have Dominican Republic versus Australia. So
okay, so I think we can plug those teams in as playing each other in the semifinals.
USA versus Dominican Republic?
Right. I don't think either of those teams are going to lose. And I feel like when it comes to all of the winners, and forgive me for not having more pride in my own personal island, the same way Damon has pride in his little island, I think the only upset here in the quarterfinals is going to be Team Mexico over Puerto Rico.
Wow. Is that really that big of an upset, though?
No. I don't think in the grand scheme of things, as far as those 2 rosters are concerned, I just mean that, you have the second place teams on the left versus the teams that ended up winning their divisions or their pools on the right? So I think Team Mexico goes on to take that game against Puerto Rico, and then I think Japan is in there. Now, the big question, Damon, is can the Dominican Republic pull off the win over Team USA?
I got to be honest, Eric. I'm sitting here, and as we're outlaying this, and I'm kind of getting an idea of what the bracket is headed towards, I can't believe baseball did it again. I cannot believe baseball did it again.
Yeah?
Is there any player who has been propped up by a sport since Michael Jordan as much as this Shohei Ohtani creep that they have over in Los Angeles? They are literally giving Japan a free run to the final.
Mm-hmm. Venezuela, Mexico.
Why can't the Dominican team get a shot at Japan? I want a shot at Japan.
Yeah, I know you
in the semifinal.
I know you do. Well, would you think it would be crazy if I were to say I think they'll get a shot at Japan in the final?
What?
I think Dominican Republic
beats USA. Okay, let's do it.
The only advantage that Team USA truly has there, I don't want to say that. That's probably not right, but I feel like their biggest advantage is pitching. And I still question, when their biggest pitchers are going to be available in these games. Like, obviously, you got to have a Paul Skeens or a Tarek Skubal pitching in that semifinal game, right? But didn't we discuss that if Team USA made it to the finals, it wouldn't be either of those guys pitching for them in the final?
Yeah, it would be Nolan McLean in the final.
And no disrespect to him or his good name, but not exactly the guy I would want in there for the championship overall. So.
And then what, Derek?
You know what happens next. Oh. You're going to make me say it. You already pointed out that this whole thing props up Shohei Ohtani.
It does.
It does. And Team Japan's going to win it all again.
The entire tournament was started just so Ohtani can add to his resume. I'm convinced at this point.
I feel like the Dominican Republic has to be the team of destiny. I really feel like they are. It's just, it's like the vibes, everything about them, you know. Japan truly is the juggernaut, the end boss, everything that, you know.
God, I hate him.
We are going to rep the DR so hard in this game, Damon. Harder than we've ever repped any team or country.
Like literally, lives, like it means more. It means more to me than the Dbacks season, maybe.
Perhaps. Well, there it is. There's your winning World Baseball Classic tournament bracket. If you needed any help, hope that helps. Hope that lays it out for you. I feel like it was too easy. We just went with the good teams here overall, but we made some tough choices. We did Australia over Korea. We did the thing. I'm okay. I'm okay with this.
All right.
Well, you know what I'm not okay with?
I circled Japan. That's our final bracket.
There you go.
That's what we got. And it makes me sick.
It should. It should make you sick.
Dude, is that really where we're headed?
Probably. But let's hope we're wrong. It's fun to do this. This is where you head yourself emotionally. You fill out your bracket like this, and then if you're wrong, you get to enjoy the Dominican Republic winning another World Baseball Classic title. Or perhaps Team USA getting the job done. We'll see. But, you know, it's not Japan that's ruining the World Baseball Classic, Damon. It's insurance. Insurance is ruining the Baseball Classic. And we're going to talk about that on the other side of this break because everybody loves to talk about insurance. So we're going to do that before we get out of here. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondbacks show. Well, there's a lot of things I need to upgrade, but one of those things is my car, and I guess I could do that out at Gila River Resorts and Casinos because that would be a big upgrade. They are having their fabulous Corvette giveaway right now, and let me tell you, going from my 2014 Nissan Rogue to a brand new Corvette would be quite the upgrade. In fact, you can win these at any one of their casino locations right now. They have 4 casinos, 4 Corvettes, 4 chances to win big. You can qualify on Fridays from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. with hourly drawings for free bonus play as well as a finale entry. They also have 4 times the entries when you play with the card on Tuesdays and Saturdays, as well as their hot seat qualifier on Thursdays from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. where you can play with the card for your shot at one of these wonderful Corvettes. They also have exclusive swag giveaways throughout the promotion, so do not miss all of this fun. For more information, visit playathila.com. Don't miss your chance to accelerate into luxury, play, earn, and win at any one of their 4 casino locations. And the Window Depot wants to help you get started on your next project. I know I'm dragging my feet on painting my living room right now, and that is something that, of course, I have to do other stuff first. I have other things I need to fix, and the Window Depot has me covered when it comes to all of that. Yes, they have windows, and they can help you get your windows replaced or repaired, but they also have doors, skylights, cabinets, countertops, sinks, and so much more. And everything is in stock and ready for pickup. It's the reason why contractors absolutely love the Window Depot. Not only do they have unbeatable prices, but they also have job site ready quantities in stock and ready to go. They also do not have a membership fee for contractors or for you. So of course, whatever you're looking for, stop by the Window Depot, get it in stock. In fact, they even have flooring now at their Tucson location, which is coming soon up here to Phoenix, but they also have in-house designers to help you with all of this. So whether it's flooring, whether it's cabinets, countertops, it doesn't matter. Their in-house designers are there to help you plan your space at no additional cost. They make it simple. The Window Depot, more than just a window store. Visit thewindowdepot.com and get started on your next project right now. Damon's out here messaging with our Australian friends. And Damon, you got yourself an interesting reply back when it came to him talking about...
Do you want me to grab this on the show?
Oh, yeah. We want to see this picture because this might be the best sign that the Diamondbacks are going to have a good year. But we'll get to that before we get out of here, Damon. I'll give you a little time for that. In the meanwhile, I'm going to talk about something that Damon loves to talk about, and that's insurance. don't even get him started right now. Damon, you go do that thing. Damon he's literally going to smash the keyboard right now.
I was showing Derek some memes earlier. What was that from Mission Impossible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some stuff out there. Insurance in general is a joke, as we all know, if we've ever had to deal with it. But the insurance for the World Baseball Classic is possibly the biggest joke you've ever seen. And I mean, you could argue maybe even slightly unfair. Might be bending the rules a little bit just in favor of Team USA overall. That's because after the injuries last World Baseball Classic, not last year, but the last time we did this, to Edwin Diaz and to Jose Altuve, there has been some concerns here from the insurance provider, and the list of reasons why a player could potentially not be insured is very lengthy. Now, this is a weird situation. This obviously was part of the World Baseball Classic, a part that got owners to allow their players to participate. Like we've said, it's understandable, even though it's a little bit villainous, for a organization, for a franchise to keep their star players out of participating in a tournament like this, in which they get nothing in return for those players participating in the tournament. So MLB implemented this insurance, which allows teams to insure their players, and should those players get injured participating in the WBC, their salaries would be covered by Major League Baseball. But it actually wouldn't be covered by Major League Baseball. It would be covered by an insurance provider. Much like most of us have insurance through our jobs, it would be a similar thing where MLB is paying to this insurance provider, and then should something terrible happen to one of these players, then they would be covered. Their salary at least would be covered, and the franchise themselves wouldn't have to put up with it. So if Ohtani gets injured in the World Baseball Classic, for instance, and Ohtani, by the way, not cleared to pitch by insurance, just cleared to hit. So there's one way that this is impacting his availability for Team Japan, is that Ohtani is only cleared to hit in this World Baseball Classic. This insurance provider company called National Financial Partners is the official insurance broker for the 2026 World Baseball Classic. Basically, it evaluates players based on salary, age, injury history, and maybe what team they play for, to provide coverage that protects teams, guaranteeing up to 2 years of salary for position players and 4 years for pitchers. Should a pitcher injure themselves in a way where their career is done due to an injury that they sustained during the World Baseball Classic, they would have to pay for 4 years of salary for that player, right? But if a player has had a recent surgery, for instance, that is one of many reasons that they can deny insurance. In fact, I found 9 of them that are broader categories that are reasons why, or 8 that they could deny insurance. And that's the bigger problem here. Recent surgery, for instance, has impacted them, allowing certain guys to get injury. Meanwhile, other guys that have played for Team USA, for instance, like an Alex Bregman, they've had recent surgeries, and those recent surgeries have not impacted their ability to be insured and play in the WBC. It's the reason why a lot of this is coming into question, and why teams like Team Puerto Rico are truly screaming foul about their guys not being covered while other guys are, right? Number 2 is just a broad chronic injury classification that says insurance company can categorize players as high risk if they have repeated injury issues. A player may be labeled chronic if they meet criteria like multiple surgeries during their career, 60 plus days on the injury list in previous season, which some guys, again, on the Team USA have experienced, missing the end of the previous season with injury, late season IL placement after August 31st, or multiple reoccurring injuries. That covers every single person in this office. Every single person in this office has chronic injury classification. Damon mostly. Also, just having an extremely large MLB contract could disqualify you from participating, which is weird, because wouldn't that mean Shohei wouldn't be allowed to play? But insurance is actually covering the contract value, not just the player. As we found out, for instance, like FIFA has a similar insurance for players to take part in the World Cup, but it only guarantees them a certain amount of the salary, not the full amount. I think, what was it, 7.8 million euros, something like that, Damon? But meanwhile, the MLB has the entire contract covered, right? So if a player has a massive deal, the potential payout is huge. Lindor has over $200 million remaining on his contract, making him a high financial risk to insure. Not to mention he just had the recent hamate injury. But another reason they can choose not to insure you is age restrictions. For the 2026 WBC cycle, Insure implemented a rule denying coverage for players 37 years or older. Why is Clayton Kershaw out there? Well, he's not insured. That's why, but still. Miguel Rojas reportedly couldn't get coverage because of this age threshold. So there's one guy that was not allowed. Also, recent injury history, which is different than the chronic injury history and recent surgery. So if you have a recent injury, players coming off injuries, even if they're healthy for spring training, could be rejected. Jose Altuve had a recent procedure and a history of WBC injury concerns, so he was not approved. And past WC injuries also can impact this as well. Position-specific risk. Number 6, the 6th reason why insurance can deny you. Pitchers are often harder to insure because of higher injury rates, a past history of UCL or elbow injury, and a risk of arm fatigue before the MLB season. And that's why Shohei Ohtani was approved to hit but not pitch. Another reason, which is why I wouldn't be approved, besides the 37-year-old thing, disciplinary issues. You guys know I'm a problem when it comes to following directions and following rules. Occasionally, players may be unable to participate because of international competition suspensions. Javier Baez being suspended due to the testing violation for marijuana in this day and age, in 2026. MLB teams refusing to accept risk. Even if insurance is denied, a player could still play if the MLB team decides to allow it. Carlos Santana, due to his age, not being covered by insurance. The Diamondbacks still let him participate as part of the Dominican Republic team. Most teams refuse, In this case, they are at the risk of essentially losing his salary if he gets injured. But to the Diamondbacks, it meant more to allow their player to participate in what will obviously be, well, probably not obviously be, because like you just said earlier, players can apparently participate in the WBC until they're 60 years old. But Carlos Santana, this could be at the end of the line for him participating in the World Baseball Classic. Do you want to be the team that denies him that glory by, keeping him out simply because, he wasn't able to get insured? So insurance became so strict because of Edwin Diaz and Jose Altuve. Those incidents dramatically increased insurance caution and the cost overall. And insurance companies like this one that covers the WBC evaluate everything. So this is why they deny coverage, and this is why guys weren't able to participate. It sucks. And not only does it suck, but it also feels like some of these guys that were insured that are part of Team USA got special exemptions to be insured, not exemptions from their team allowing them to participate uninsured. No, exemptions that had them covered, where other countries and other teams don't have that same, grace, that same, that same courtesy extended to them. So it does feel a little bit here like, in a situation where you have a United States-based company that's providing insurance for this tournament, that they are being a bit biased on behalf of Team USA. We don't need that. We don't really need that. Let's just make this fair and even across the board, and let's remember that this is just for the game of baseball. There's a winner, there's a trophy, a country gets bragging rights for the next few years, just like you do in the Olympics. However, this is one of those things that's meant to bring us all back together more and not make players and countries and certain ethnicities feel like they're being treated differently due to this insurance situation, and that part sucks. But anyway, I just want to go watch World Baseball Classic now. This insurance stuff kind of brought me down. I didn't mean to bring you down, but there are still plenty of amazing players participating in this tournament, and we get to watch 12 Diamondbacks be a part of it. So let's all go do that. We will be back here at 12 p.m. tomorrow with another show discussing the outcome of these World Baseball Classic games and maybe taking a look back at our bracket, wondering if we already made a mistake or two. So Let's do that tomorrow at noon. Until then, you can follow me on social media at cap_caveman with a K. You can follow Damon at Damon Dawg with a DAWG at the end, and we're all Damon's dogs. Bark, bark. Our show is at PHNX_Dbacks, but as always, all roads lead to at PHNX_sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We thank you guys so much for your time. Appreciate you sharing it with us.
Wait up, Derek. We got to show the snake, brother.
Oh, I forgot.
The diamond python.
So our friend, what is our friend's name again, Damon?
Brad.
Our friend Brad coming through with a picture of what he called
diamond python.
A diamond python in his front yard. Let's never forget that Australia is a place that is just filled with danger at all times. They have these koalas called drop bears there. They'll just drop out of the trees and kill you, Damon. It's insane. But yes, no, this has to be a great sign. This has to be the best possible sign.
You would think.
You would think. I don't know how it might not be, but shout out to Australia as a whole for being a very dangerous place. Damon, let's get out of here. We appreciate you guys again for your time. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, behave yourself, Michael Dixon. And remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it's so much more fun when everybody gets insured.
We all silly like the mayor.